I'm speaking with Paula Pebsworth. She's a primatologist. We are here in our Riyadh in Marrakesh, and she's about to head back to the United States. Paula, tell us about your work with primatology and how it relates to the climate crisis.
It's been interesting for me to see kind of how their diet has changed over the years, and colleagues of mine that are at Kibale University have been doing some longitudinal work and looking at the protein, fiber, plant secondary metabolites in chimpanzee diet and also monkey diets. And what they've noticed over the last few years is that the nutritional quality is in great decline for primates. So we're seeing the fiber content has increased a tremendous amount, protein has decreased, and plant toxins, which is something that the plant excretes to protect itself against herbivory, has increased almost 20%. So that is something like tannins or alkaloids. So in my work, what I've noticed is that one of the few strategies that animals can use, well, they can detoxify just physiologically, but on their own, they can also ingest soil, special kinds of soil that's very high in clay, and that can bind up the plant toxins. So that's one thing that they can do. And what I've noticed over the years is that they spend a great deal more time eating soil than they did before. So to me, and what we're finding is that those kinds of decline in nutritional quality is the result of global climate change. And so for me, I was really interested to see that's also, it's got to be the same phenomenon for people. So our food must also be in decline. So I was really hoping to come to COP22 and see kind of what other people are finding. And I mean, I keep hearing over and over again, they're speaking for the most vulnerable populations, which are identified as women and children. But as a primatologist and someone who studies animals, I really feel like the really most vulnerable are animals, which at this have no voice at all. So I think that we need to be cognizant of the ramifications of global climate change, not only to humans, but to other species around the world.
And of course, in some ways, they're the canaries in the coal mine. They're the ones that are feeling the heat literally and figuratively before we all are.
Right. And I think, today I've heard people, talking about adaptations, and they're trying to talk about, kind of the complications that people on a global or at a community level are experiencing. And one thing that I haven't heard people talk about, which I know is a huge problem, is the conflict between humans and non-human animals. So as the nutrition is in decline, so animals are coming out of the forest and they're seeking other foods. So they're often competing with humans for human foods. So they're eating mangoes, sugarcane, papayas. I mean, anything they can find. And you will find that human foods often don't have the plant toxins that they have in their own food. And that problem the conflict between human and wildlife is only going to accelerate as time goes by, and especially as global climate change increases.
Okay, that's the end of part 2. We're going to go to part 3.